This evening, I'm talking about success responds to audacity. Success responds to audacity. Everybody say with me, success responds to audacity. It's important for you to note that if you are not audacious in this life, there are so many opportunities you're going to lose. In the workplace, as an entrepreneur, as an individual, regardless of what you do, if you're not audacious in this life, there are so many things that you would lose. Let me even explain it to you from scripture. You know, the Bible says that God knows the heart of every man. Is that correct? How come God knows the heart of every man, yet he still says, come unto me, let us reason together, or bring forth your strong reasons? How come, despite the fact that he knows every heart, every need, he still says to us, seek, ask, and it shall be given, in Matthew 7:7. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and the door shall be opened unto you. Why does the one who knows everything still tell me to ask? Why does the one who knows everything still tells me to seek? It's to let you know that the audacious one is the one that gets whatever he wants. God can have a provision, but the fact that God has the provision does not mean that you will gain access to the provision. You can keep praying, but without audacity, you will not access God's provision. You can keep praying, you can keep toiling, you can keep fasting. Without audacity, God's established provisions, you may not enter into it. What I'm saying, is this scriptural? Very scriptural. Remember in the days of Daniel, Daniel kept praying until the provision came. He didn't say, oh, I've prayed, then definitely it will come. You need to understand that if you don't ask, you won't get certain things. So let's look at what is audacity. Audacity is not arrogance. However, you need to be careful because there can be a thin line between audacity and arrogance. But if you're not audacious, like some people will say, let me say this in Yoruba, I'll look for who can help me and to interpret it in the best way. If you're not audacious, why Jeremiah? Who can help? What's the most suitable interpretation for that? People will take advantage of you. If you're not audacious, your opportunities will be passed on to other people. The things that are supposed to come to you will just go on to other people. So audacity is not arrogance. It is the courage to act despite fear. Audacity is the courage to act despite fear. It is doing what is right even when unconventional. It may be unconventional. You may be the first person to do it. You may not have seen any other person trying it out before, but it is doing it even though it is not unconventional. Sorry, it is unconventional. Then it is moving before the world fully validates your vision. It is moving before the world fully validates your vision. Some people saw artificial intelligence years ago. The thing that has become a rave today is people have been talking about it for more than 30 years. There are books, there are movies that have been made about artificial intelligence more than 40 years ago, more than 30 years ago. I saw a series online and I was scared what AI can become if government fully integrates AI and uses it to monitor our data. There's a series on Netflix called The Person of Interest. Dangerous. But we just caught it now and we're just shouting. But somebody has been audacious to talk about it some years ago. So audacity is not arrogance. Why success rewards audacity? My next slide. The world rewards those who step forward. The world rewards those who step forward. If you're timid in the workplace, if you're timid as a business owner, you are the one who is losing. There's something that is called the first mover advantage. Meaning that you may not be the best, but you are the first mover. And that's how the world sometimes responds to you. In your workplace, you are not the only one looking for that opportunity. So if you don't step forward, you may lose those opportunities. Opportunities rarely go to the most passive person. If you are too laid back, you will keep losing opportunities. You are waiting for the day they will do it on merit. Yes, there are times then when things get done on merit, but sometimes the bosses don't see the people who merit the opportunities. They see the people who keep talking. They see the people who are bold enough. They see the people who keep asking questions, who come up, who speak up at meetings, who say, oh, let's do this. This thing can be done. Let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. So audacity is very, very important. Remember, opportunities rarely go to passive people. Bold actions create visibility. Of course, we talked about visibility before, and you know the importance of visibility. Bold actions also create influence. All of a sudden, if you're bold, you start talking. Next thing that happens is that the next time your boss, leaders want to take a decision around you in your office, they will start asking, they will start seeking your opinion. Why? Because the last time you were the one who spoke up. But if you don't speak up, they will not come to you. They'll keep going to the people. And guess what? When they go to the people who are speaking up and they want to take a decision, do you think that they will speak for you or speak for themselves? Who will they speak for? They'll speak for themselves. Just like the Yorubas will say, they say, there's nobody that will be given a hole that will turn it and face another person. You will, you make the ridges. All the ridges will face you when you are making a ridge. So it's very important to pay attention to that. The next one, audacity versus recklessness. Audacity is strategic courage. It's not anyhow thing. Audacity is what? Strategic courage. Recklessness ignores consequences. Take, for example, a car is coming out, you go and stand in front of it, you say, I'm bold and audacious. That's recklessness. That's not audacity. When we were young, we used to joke. We say, cars that have 7, they don't kill. Or on Sunday, cars don't do this, cars don't do that. Oh, cars that have number 5 in them. We just came up with so many stupid ideas. But that's recklessness, to ignore consequences. Audacity combines wisdom, conviction, preparation, and decisive action. Audacity combines wisdom. Emphasis is wisdom. You know when to talk. You will still say it afraid, but you know when to talk. You have done your research, so you're not just saying anything. You're not saying things that can be rubbished. You're not saying things that can be watered or thrown out. You've done your proper research. It's just that you know it is unusual for subordinates to speak up in your office. But this time around, you're convinced, and you know that this thing will work. So audacity is speaking up with the conviction. Preparation, you've gone to check. You're speaking based on figures. You're not saying, sir, I think you should listen to me. I think, who are you? Why should we listen to you? Your ego should be completely out of the place, and decisive action. So audacity is not recklessness. Pay attention to that. Then the next one, the fear barrier. Most people see opportunities, few move because fear delays action. How many of you have seen an opportunity or you've gotten an idea and you were working on it, you were trying to perfect it, next thing you see somebody executing it? How many of you? We're working on an idea and you believe that it's going to work, it's going to be perfect, it's going to fly, and you were trusting that, once I get money, maybe when I get my next salary or something like that, I'm going to work it. Next thing you see somebody doing it right outside your door. Opportunities that are delayed, somebody else will go in on them. If you don't take action immediately, somebody else will move quickly. So audacious people act while others overthink. Audacious people act while others do what? Come on, speak. Are you still with me? Audacious people act while others do what? Overthink. So there are some things you cannot overthink. There are some things you cannot overthink because as soon as you're overthinking them, you won't be able to move forward. Next one, do it afraid. Do it afraid. Confidence is not the absence of fear. Confidence is not the absence of fear. Audacity means moving forward despite uncertainty. Quite a number of things I've done afraid myself. There are quite a number of things I wasn't sure how it's going to turn out. And they still turned out well. Sometimes when people, when we're training and we're coaching people how to speak in public and stuff like that, and they say, sir, I was so afraid and stuff like that. And I said, nobody saw your fear. Only you knew that you were afraid. We didn't see your fear. The only place where the fear takes undue advantage of you is when you allow the fear to become visible. But as you were speaking, we didn't know. We didn't even notice that you were afraid. Somebody came to me recently and said, sir, I'm very shy. I said, go and do it. And she did her presentation. She spoke very well. After the presentation, she came back and said, did you notice I was shy? I said, I didn't see any shyness. Only you knew that you were shy. We didn't see that. So do it afraid. That's what it means. Every major breakthrough begins with uncomfortable courage. Every major breakthrough begins with what? Uncomfortable courage. You will not know what will happen. You know it's a win-win situation. It could be a win-lose situation, 50-50, as we say. You can lose something, but do it afraid. The next one is that audacity gets you into the room. Audacity gets you into the room. I've seen a situation where somebody followed another person to interview. She actually followed somebody to the interview. She was not the one who was being interviewed. She didn't prepare for the interview. And all of a sudden, somebody came out from the HR department and said, "Oh, are you here for the interview?" And all of that. He said, No, I'm actually just, okay, since you are here, just come in. And then they took her in, and she actually prepared. She partook in the interview. The person that went for the interview wasn't taken. The person who escorted somebody else to the interview was the one that was taken. Audacity can get you into the room. Many doors open to people willing to ask. Many doors open to people willing to pitch. Many doors open to people willing to volunteer and initiate. Look at that. Willing to ask. There are some things that you will never know you can get it in your office if you don't ask. As a business owner, there are some things you never know you can get. There are some things you never know you can get if you don't pitch for them. Sometimes it looks like God has been ministering to you. Talk to this person, pitch this idea, and you're afraid, you're skeptical, but you never know what you will get if you pitch. Some places you don't want to volunteer, you never know what you can get at the end of the day. So, audacity and all of these things often begin with boldness. In your office, begin to ask, begin to pitch, begin to volunteer. Don't hesitate, initiate. Say to your neighbor, don't hesitate, initiate. Why are you cold this evening? So, employees' audacity at work. Employees' audacity at work. Audacious employees do the following things. Number one thing is that they speak up with ideas. There are some organizations when they tell you, look, nobody here will be told your idea is wrong, your idea is bad, just speak up, just tell us what you think. And some organizations actually mean it. Some others don't mean it. But they will tell you, look, nobody is wrong. Just speak up. And you need to take the initiative to speak up. And some of the things, you know the funny thing is that it's like the last set of advanced teachings, at least beginning this year, I saw everything playing out even in my own life. There was something that happened this year, and it's just practically everything I have also been teaching here. Just face by face, the first one, the second one, the third one. So these things are real. Be audacious to speak up with ideas. Volunteer for hard tasks. I said it earlier in one of our teachings, and somebody like, I've not even finished the one. Well, plan it. I'm not saying you must. Plan it. Look at your schedule. Look at what extra you can take on. If you can accommodate it, do it. Take initiative. Solve problems. And this audacity will reward you at the end of the day. There are times you don't know somebody is watching. You're not even doing them because you think somebody is watching. You're just genuinely doing them. But the day it will pay off, you'll be so shocked. So solve problems before being asked to solve the problems. Audacity and promotions. Promotions often go to people who demonstrate leadership before receiving title. Sometimes, if they don't ask some of you to lead in your office, you will never step up to lead. It's a great mistake you are making. Start volunteering to lead when the opportunity shows up. Start doing what? Start volunteering to lead. And from volunteering to lead, over time, it will be impossible to relegate you as a subordinate. They will just permanently make you a leader. Because the first time the opportunity came, you volunteered to lead. The second time the opportunity came, you volunteered to lead. It will become part of your KPIs. So make sure when the opportunities present themselves, you volunteer to lead. So demonstrate leadership before receiving the title. Audacity makes potential visible. The next slide. Competence still matters. We're not saying that audacity is all you need, though. Because somebody will now get to the office on Monday and say, they say we must be audacious. And now I want to prove that I have audacity. Hey, audacity without competence, they will show you the way out of the organization. But in addition to that audacity, you must be competent. So audacity without competence is noise. I wanted to sing a song, but don't let me sing it. But you see, they say that noise is not music. I didn't say anything, no. But noise is not music. Audacity without competence is noise. Competence builds credibility. Competence builds credibility. So you must still be competent. Excellence creates trust. So you notice that in all of these, we're not saying don't be competent. We're not saying don't be excellent. We're not saying don't do it well. We're not saying don't prepare. However, look at my next slide. Where competence is equal, audacity will then take the lead. If 5 of you are equally competent, the question will now be who is more audacious, who is bolder, who is willing to take on tasks that other people are not willing to take on, who is willing to speak up or speak the power to truth in some cases. I was training some people and they said to me, oh no, sir, these things that you're telling us is easy to say. Go and tell our bosses. I said to them, these things work. Fortunately for me, one of their colleagues now spoke up and said, I had an experience regarding what you were talking about. One of my superiors would keep talking to us anyhow and stuff like that. And he was just being rude and disrespectful. And we just talk anyhow. And one day I had to speak up and say, sir, I'm doing my work. I know my onions. This is how these things are supposed to be done. There's nothing else I can do. I can't compromise the standard, even for you, regardless of your position. Every other person was scared for her. Next thing he said, I will deal with you. I said, I'll be waiting for you, sir. Till date, he has not said anything to HR. Till date, you know why? Because he knows what he's doing is wrong. And I keep telling to people in the workplace, until you confront bullies, the bullying will continue. The day you stand up to them, that's the day it ends. Because they know if you ever go to HR, that's the end of their career. So audacity actually stands out amongst competence. So the next one, competence serves while audacity wins. Competence serves while audacity wins. You know this funny proverb or this funny saying around Southwest in Nigeria? Say, the person who is working is in the sun or under the sun. But the person that will eat the fruit of that labor is under the shade. In the workplace, some of you are the ones doing the work, but it's your colleagues that are eating the fruit. They are the ones getting the commendation. Are there people like that here? No, let me see a show of hands. You are the one doing the job, but it's your colleagues people are praising. You know why? It's because you are the one doing the job, but you don't tell your boss that you are the one doing the job. Or they don't ever get to find out that you are the one doing it, and they will never find out in some cases until the day you become audacious to speak about what you are doing. Or find a way to document it and share with them, and this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. When the day of reckoning comes and they will look at results, he will not be able to claim it that he did it because you already reported it as you're the one who did it. So there are people who are taking credit for your work. In the banking industry, when I ask them questions, I see that one of the most painful things for bankers is that they keep working and their team leads mostly take the credit. It's the most painful thing for a lot of them. But some of them, I gave some of them some strategies I won't discuss openly. But some of them have taken it, and some of them have been able to, come out of it. So competence serves while audacity wins. Competence is rewarded when audacity is not found. In other words, there are 5 people. None amongst the 5 is audacious. Then we will reward competence. But if one person out of the 5 is audacious, trust me, we will reward audacity ahead of competence. Because you're all equally good. So you need to pay attention to that. Then skill keeps you valuable. Audacity makes you influential. You are valuable, we can't sack you. But you're not bold enough. There are things we need to do. We can't ask you to go and do it. But this other person may not be as skilled as you are, but this person can take on the kind of task that you cannot take on. So audacity makes you influential. Go and check those who do office politics. I'm not asking you to join office politics, but go and check some of them. You realize that one important tool is what? Audacity. Then the promotion advantage. Managers notice employees who, number 1, present solutions. Don't be afraid to challenge the status quo in your workplace. The fact that they've been doing it like that since 1918 does not mean that there is no way around it or there is no better way. So long as you are sure of a better way to do it, confront and tell them, say, and please be mindful of how you say it. Because sometimes the reason your ideas aren't received is not because they are not great or smart. It's because of how you say them. Some of you have bosses that should never be confronted publicly. Your bosses want to take the credit. That's fine. Go and meet them. Personally, go and meet them one-on-one. Say, sir, I'm thinking, look at this. Let your boss take the credit. Let him or her come out and say, I just got this idea and this is it. And you're looking at the exact presentation that you sent to your boss and you're smiling. The most important thing for you is that efficiency has improved in the organization. Is that not so? The most important thing for you is that there's a better way to do your job. So in some cases, regardless of who takes the credit, be willing to be in the back door. But the day of reckoning, always have a record of everything you are doing. Because on the day of reckoning, you can prove that you did it. So present solutions. Number one, challenge outdated systems respectfully. Emphasis on respectfully. Don't insult them just because you have a new idea. Find a way to talk about it. And guess what? In a team, sometimes the leader is not the most influential person. You want an idea to work, you are talking to chairman. But the wife of chairman is also a staff of the organization. You think chairman is the one that has the final say. You don't know that when the chairman has been cheered into a corner by madam, that's where they conclude the matter. You are thinking it's the boardroom where they conclude the matter. No. Identify the most influential person. Go and talk to that person. This idea, I think it will be great and stuff like that. Once you are finished with the influential person, then go and talk to the person who has the position. Because in many organizations, the one who has the position is different from the one who has the influence. And the one who has the influence is the one who determines the decision. I hope you are picking things from all these little things I'm saying. So, communicate confidently and take ownership. Communicate confidently and take ownership. Let me run faster so that I can cover entrepreneurs as well. So, audacity creates leadership presence. That one is sure. Let me move on from that. Speaking up changes careers. If you don't speak up, you may never be seen or heard. So, you need to do that. Let me move on from that. Entrepreneurs' audacity, as I begin to wrap up. Entrepreneurship rewards speed, vision, and courage. As an entrepreneur, if you don't start out early, you will just be wasting your time. Every solution you are trying to create, somebody else is also trying to create it. So many people got the license to build a refinery, but only one person built it. Now, the person who has built it has become an exporter from Africa. All African countries are coming in now. Imagine if the refinery was not built before the war between US, Iran, and Israel. Imagine how much we'll be spending on fuel right now. So it's important. Entrepreneurship rewards speed. Many successful businesses began before certainty existed. Many of you want a perfect situation. In many cases, there will never be perfect situations. There will be evolving situations. And you adjust according to the evolution of circumstances. Am I using too many big grammars? Am I speaking what you understand? So, as things begin to change, you adjust. As things begin to change, you improve. You don't start out perfect. And don't expect to be perfect when you start out. Then the first mover advantage, I talked about it earlier. Audacious entrepreneurs move before everyone sees the opportunity. Audacious entrepreneurs move before everyone sees the opportunity. Being first creates attention. Just like somebody said, in the stock market, most of the stocks they are announcing to you, the real people have actually taken advantage of it. They've sucked out everything. It's the chaff that they are selling to you. There are quite a number of investments that you hear about. The real people, the real investors have cashed out. So the first mover advantage will always give you an opportunity. I'm not asking you to also move recklessly. Move with wisdom. Take calculated risk. Plan. But as you are you don't have to stop and think everything through. Think as you move. Do you understand what I'm saying? Move and take action at the same time. So the next one, resources are not always the advantage. Resources are not always the advantage. Sometimes people want bigger offices, more money, larger teams. They do not guarantee success. One pattern or trend that we have seen in Nigeria is that people will ask for money and investors, venture capitalists will give them money. The first thing they will go and do is go and rent a big office space and then go and employ staff that they cannot pay and the staff they do not need. Even buy official cars for some of them just to look grand, the grandeur that they want to have for their office. But the company has not started making money. Company that should start from your room and do everything first for a few years before you go out. But they rent big office spaces. There was a story of a guy who was paying himself a fat salary. Not just paying himself a fat salary. They had an office. The whole place, people were just coming and going to the office for I think for 2 years. But the business was not making a single profit in 2 years. But because it's not their money. So sometimes it's not always about starting big. Everything looking, beautiful. The grand opening. No, you don't always have to start that way. Bold execution often beats superior resources. Bold execution often beats superior resources. Go and look up the word. I don't have the time to talk about it. Bootstrapping. Go and look up the word. Write it down. Bootstrapping. You can write it down. Bootstrapping, shoestring budget, lean model canvas. Bootstrapping, shoestring budget, lean model canvas. I've taught you about business model canvas before. I've talked about I've talked about bootstrapping before, but go and look it up again. Bootstrapping, meaning that sometimes I can start a business with 10 million, but for now, what I have is 1 million. Will I wait till I get the 10 million? No, I start with the 1 million first. And eventually, as I begin to do things gradually, I get the 10 million. Some people would even start with less, and eventually the money will come. Because the first mover advantage is, in so many cases, is always more important than money. All right, the next one, why small businesses win. Smaller businesses can move faster. They are not big. They take decisions quickly. They are not waiting for the CFO, the CEO, the GMD. No. There's an advantage because the structure is small. So there's a first mover advantage for smaller businesses because they can take decisions quickly. So if you're running a business, move fast. Don't use structure to kill your progress. Please say that with me. Don't use structure to kill your progress. I'm not saying don't structure things. Structure things, but structure things at your level. Structure things with documentations. Structure things with your taxes, your tax record, your report, automated templates and all of that. But don't use structure to kill your business. Your business may be too small to be following every structure that big businesses are following. It will just kill the business. There are opportunities you should be able to cash in on. You won't be able to cash in on them. So don't use structure to kill your business. Audacity allows rapid decisions and innovation. One of the courses that I teach is called Digital Innovation in Banking. And then we also talk about, apart from digital innovation in banking, we also talk about innovative product development in retail banking. What are we simply talking about, or why are we looking into it? Fintechs, they come. Fintechs like OPay, like MoneyPoint, and all those ones. They will just come with ideas. Boom! They've invaded the market. They are all over the place. But commercial banks, they're still taking their time. They're still slow. They're still doing it, bit by bit. At the end of the day, when banks acquire the fintechs, you know what they do? They slow down the speed and the growth of the fintech. Why? Banks follow structure. The fintechs follow speed. So don't follow speed. Don't follow structure to the detriment of your business. Let me wrap up in 2 minutes. The cost of waiting can be very enormous, so don't wait. I don't have time to explain all of that. But don't just spend too much time wasting. Launch a product early. You already know that. Examples of bold decisions. Launch a product early. Apply for a role above your level. We've seen people who are applying for a role above their level, and they still got it. That's coming back to employees now. The fact that they didn't advertise it does not mean that there's no vacancy. Try. The fact that they say this is what we're looking for does not mean they will not be interested in you. Sometimes when you apply for some roles above your level, the fact that you were audacious enough to apply, that's what they're looking for. They'll give it to you. And we've seen that happen repeatedly. Start a business with limited resources. Don't start big. And finally, entering new markets before competitors. It will always be an advantage for you. Audacity creates opportunities. You need to pay attention to that. I can't talk about the psychology of boldness. Sometimes it's a boju. Looking bold and acting bold. Sometimes they won't know that internally you are afraid. But everybody will see you as being bold. And you will be getting results. So let me go to the last slide because of my time so that I can end there. Or move to the next slide. Go on. Go to like the second to the last slide. I want to talk about that and wrap it up there. The ultimate edge, that's the title. Yeah, good. In competitive environments, the edge often belongs to the person willing to move first. The edge belongs to the person willing to move first. Think bigger and act courageously. Don't wait. Don't always wait. If you wait, see, while you're waiting, there are people, you talk about somebody, I'm waiting, you talk about something to some people. Oh, I'm waiting for this, I want to do this, and stuff like that. The same person you are talking to has gone behind you to go and activate it. So while you're waiting, they are already acting. Please stop waiting unnecessarily. And my final thoughts, you are already smart, strong, and resilient. Audacity is what is left. You're already smart, you're already strong, you're already resilient. Audacity is what is left. Whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an employee, or just somebody rendering service, audacity is important. And go and look at some of your colleagues who are succeeding. You realize that some of them are not as skilled as you are, but they are more audacious, and that's why they're getting results. Thank you. God bless you. Can I take questions? Let's take questions, maybe one or two, quickly. Let's make it quick. Don't start coming up with questions when somebody is now asking their own. I can see Bro Salami's hand. Have you been blessed tonight? Okay, any other person apart from Bro? Okay, I can see a lady's hand here. So we'll take those two and we'll call it a day. Bro Salami first. I saw his hand first. Okay, hold on. I saw Bro Salami. I'll come to you. I saw Bro Salami's hand first. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Praise God.
Thank you very much. This teaching is specifically to me because I currently have an office. And this last statement that people, you have to be audacious because those that they don't have like your skill will be more recognized than you are. Yeah. I don't know how to put it, but do you have to? I know the word is quite big, but do you know the meaning of leak ass?
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Right, because I felt, now I get the meaning, it's audacity. Yeah. But I felt it's leak ass because I see that some of my colleagues that resume at the same position together, they are more recognized. And I feel I am more skilled, right? And my kind of job is just sitting at the back end, right? So when they are being recognized, I will also be recognized in my own space, right? But not as them, right? So I feel, they are always putting themselves forward and everything. So what would you advise someone like me? Because I'm always sitting in my zone. I don't want to be shouted at. I don't want to be called out anyhow. Just do your thing and move on, right?
Okay. Yeah. So some of us have made that mistake before, including myself. I would say that what you're trying to describe is like eye service. Eye service is different from audacity, actually. There can be a thin line. It can be blurry if you're not careful. It could look like what people talk about, meaning that somehow you may be showing off just for people to see you. Not that you're necessarily better or you're really doing anything serious. So there can be a thin line. However, audacity is not the same as eye service. Some people just do eye service. Some people are audacious. Please find a way to start speaking up about your work and your competence. You cannot shy away from talking about how good you are. If you are good, you're good. Don't be apologetic about it. And I pray God gives you the courage to start doing that. Please, start speaking up about your work. If you want to be subtle about it, then create a report for yourself. Start talking about the things you did and the things you are doing or what you can do. And let them see it consistently. Please, it's not eye service when you talk about what you do. Yes, sir. Please make it brief.
Thank you very much, sir. My question is simple. What advice will you give to someone who is doing a business? Now, you have this belief that this business will actually thrive. It's just a matter of that. But most of the time, when you're doing it, it's always failing and failing. Is it advisable to continue with that or shift?
If it keeps failing. Yes. Okay, so first of all, it's a bit difficult to advise in that regard because I don't have the details. However, here's a guiding principle. that I can give to you to determine whether you should continue a business that keeps failing or not. Number one, what are you doing and how are you doing it? That's the question you should ask yourself. Are you doing it right? As the money comes in, do you take everything out? If you keep taking everything out and you don't reinvest the money into the business, that's a guaranteed way for the business to keep failing. So that's where structure comes in. But then the structure can begin at your own level. When you start a business and it's little money, marginal costs that you're making from it, you don't start taking profit out of that business. You must have another way you are making money so that you don't eat the entire profit of that business. Am I making sense? So there are some businesses, you have to give them 6 months, 1 year, or even more before you touch their profits. That's when the business will stabilize. But then there are some other businesses, it could be environment. Are you in the right environment for the business? You can't go and start some businesses now and then go and find yourself, go and hide yourself somewhere. Are you visible enough? I was teaching some of my trainees one day and I asked them, I said, what business do you think McDonald's is in? Or is it McDonald's, depending on what part of the world you're in? A lot of people think McDonald's sells what? Sells what? Burger is not what they sell. What McDonald's sells is real estate. Real estate is what McDonald's sells. You know why? Every building where they sell burger, they own the building. And they use just a portion of the building to sell burger to you. But the actual thing they are selling is real estate. The office spaces. So somebody else will go and start a burger thinking that what McDonald's is selling is what? Burger. And you don't know that what they're actually selling is what? Real estate. So you wonder why your own burger business is not thriving when the person you are copying is actually selling real estate. Have I blessed you with that answer alone? Yes, the final. You raised your hand earlier. Yes, final one. As we say in literature, the more you look, the less you see.
Okay, first of all, thank you for the amazing session. It was quite impactful.
Thank God.
Right? So, in a situation whereby your boss doesn't stay around, like he's not in the country, right? And then you have supervisors. You do not report directly to your boss.
Sorry, say that again.
You do not report directly to your boss.
Okay.
You report to supervisors who takes the whole thing to your boss. And then secondly, your activity or your role is not in the office, right? You go to site and all of that. So now your supervisors or the people you report to directly, they have favorite people, right? They work with. So when it comes to appraisals, when it comes to promotions, when it comes to bonuses, they award it to their favorite people. Meanwhile, you do your job, you know your onions, you are so good on all of that. And then you find out that other people are taking credit for your work because you do not have direct connection to your boss.
Sorry to cut you. Let me, I think I know where you're going. Let me answer your question. You remember when I said I was speaking earlier, I said that one of the most important pains I have seen with bankers is that they work, somebody else takes the credit. Let me tell you what I taught them. One of the things you can do, be very smart about it. There's something, do you write reports?
Yes.
Who do you send it to?
To the group.
The group.
Yeah,
and then to your boss.
Not all the time.
Not all the time. I mean, the boss that you report to, that's the one I'm talking about.
Yes.
Good, the supervisor. Do you send your report via email?
Not all the time.
So what I'm going to advise you to do is to change your strategy. Be ready for warfare. It can backfire. But in some cases, if you take this step, it will also work. Number one, don't only send your report via WhatsApp. Send it via email. Number two, there's something in your email called BCC. BCC your boss. With every report, BCC your boss. When you BCC your boss, one day when everybody is getting promoted and you are not getting promoted, is the boss that wonder, where is this girl? How come this girl is not getting promoted? Trust me, I've taught some people to do this. They did, it worked. But I don't have 100% guarantee for you. However, I said BCC your boss.